This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Ahead at 5 on Good Morning Indiana, a windy Wednesday still has thousands of central Indiana residents in the dark this morning. We are working for you, tracking when crews expect to have power restored.
Plus, a trial challenging the limits to the state's religious objections law has been canceled. Why the judge denied the suit and what could come next.
Thousands of volunteers are making sure Hoosiers in need will be well fed today. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live with the final preparations for one of the biggest Thanksgiving traditions in our state. 5 o'clock here on your Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We are thankful for you and our own Alyssa Donovan here, who is
thank you.
Welcome. Breaking down the forecast. Alyssa, I got to say, when I stepped outside this morning, wow, that is a different air mass than what we had yesterday.
Yes, it feels very
different. You didn't
different.
have to brace for impact.
Yeah, you didn't have to. So it's going to be a much calmer day. That's the good news. All that wind is gone. We peaked at 62 miles per hour. That was in Muncie.
It was pretty crazy.
We saw quite a bit of wind yesterday. Things are going to be a lot calmer today and quiet. The bad news is it's just going to be a little bit of a cloudy and gloomy day. Right now, though, we're starting in the 30s this morning, 34 degrees right now in Indianapolis. So you'll notice it's a little drier outside, a little cooler outside. We still have a little bit of cloud coverage hanging around from that system that moved through yesterday, and that's going to continue to impact us throughout the day. We're going to see those cloudy skies really from start to finish today, with maybe just some peaks of sunshine midday, but for the most part, we are going to be socked in with that cloud coverage. The good news is we have that high pressure building in from the west-northwest, so what that's going to do is just keep us dry today, but it's also going to keep our temperatures down because we have that west-northwest wind coming in from the north, and that's bringing us that cooler air. So temperatures today not changing too much. We're starting in the 30s this morning, only climbing into the upper 30s and low 40s with cloudy skies. We do have some rain coming in this weekend. I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on your roads on this Thanksgiving morning. Things should be a little bit more quiet than they were yesterday. Hopefully a lot of people have made it to their Thanksgiving destinations, or they will be later today. Taking a look over here to our west, we had an earlier crash this morning westbound I-70 at Sam Jones Expressway involving a semi and a little bit of a spill in that area. We're going to have more details coming up, but you can see there are no delays right now around the metro area.
The Moselle Sanders Foundation has been feeding families in need on Thanksgiving Day for 48 years.
Yeah, and this morning they are already up preparing more than 22,000 meals. And our Kelsey Anderson is there this morning, joining us live from Butler University's campus. Kelsey, what's going on?
Hey, so 2,000 volunteers, thousands and thousands of pounds of foods. That's what makes this happen today, and they're feeding over 22,000 people. And I'm here with Executive Chef Colin Simpson. So tell me, what goes on behind the scenes for this?
Oh, well, as you can see, we have a lot of volunteers that come in and help out. We couldn't do this without them. We'll have over 2,000 volunteers, basically.
And so you've done this for more than 30 years. So tell me how this has grown for you over the last 48 years that it's been going on.
Well, when I started, we were doing about 10 to 11,000, and we've had 2 different locations since that time. As we've grown, Butler's was about 8 or 9 years ago, stepped up to the plate and offered the facility. We actually have 2 kitchens. There's another kitchen that's operating behind the scenes as well.
And so what's it like for you to see community members come out and support by volunteering or donating money for this cause?
Oh, well, year after year, people from all walks of life come out. They go right to work. They're eager. It's a great, positive environment. It's just good to see people coming together for a common cause.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here this morning and appreciate what you do. Again, they are still looking for more donations this morning. They say they're about $6,500 short on what they need. So if you want to donate and help out with this cause, you can visit the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. Now to some news from overnight. 2 people are in the hospital following this serious crash along Interstate 70. The crash happened just before 2 o'clock this morning near Sam Jones Expressway. A semi-driver told officers that the driver of a pickup truck was driving erratically and lost control, and he couldn't avoid crashing into them. The semi-truck trailer then was ripped open, spilling flannel shirts all across the highway. Police say that the man believes that they believe to be the driver of the pickup ran from that scene. He was found a short distance away. His injuries are not known this morning. We can tell you that semi-driver was not injured. Wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour yesterday left a trail of damage and tens of thousands of central Indiana residents in the dark.
You can see one tree landed right on a home in Fortville, destroying the roof and sending insulation everywhere. A gas station on Indy's south side also collapsed because of the windstorm. At one point, IPL told us around 40,000 customers were without power. And here's a look at their current outages. You can see around 1,500 customers are still in the dark this morning. Officials say crews are working overtime to restore power, but they are asking for your patience.
We're going to continue working around the clock safely and quickly to restore power and make sure we get everyone back on.
You can keep up with the outages when they're fixed by looking at the outage map we just showed you. We've got a link to it in our stories on the RTV6 app.
And we're working for you with some quick food safety tips if you were impacted by the power outage. Harmful bacteria can develop on food that's left out, doubling in as little as 20 minutes. So keep hot food hot above 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep that cold food cold below 40 degrees. If you did lose power, try to keep your fridge door closed to keep the cool air in. If you're desperate, small generators range in price and they can be sold at a majority of stores, even the ones that are open on Thanksgiving.
Now to some developing news. We're working to learn more details about a crash that killed a person on the city's east side. This happened Wednesday night near Washington and Mithofer. Police say a person walking in the area was hit and killed by a driver. We're told the driver did stay on scene and was cooperating. This is the second pedestrian killed in that same area in many days. Tuesday night, someone was hit by a car near a fast food restaurant just off Washington Street near German Church Road.
At 5:06, come take a good look at your screen. Police want to know if you recognize the man in this grainy surveillance video. He's accused of stealing a car with a child in the back seat from a truck stop in Greenwood Tuesday afternoon. The 3-year-old was found safely a short time later at a gas station on the south side of Indianapolis. Police say the child's mother left the car running. You can report any information here anonymously by calling Crime Stoppers today. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
An Indiana judge has canceled a trial challenging limits on the state's religious freedom law. RFRA gained nationwide backlash in 2015 when then Governor Mike Pence signed it into law. Critics argued it could be used to discriminate against LGBTQ people. The Republican-dominated legislature approved changes to the law shortly after it was signed. The revisions blocked its use as a legal defense for refusing to provide services and accommodations, among other things, based on a person's race, religion, or sexual orientation. The lawsuit challenged those changes, but in a ruling issued last week, Judge Michael Casati said that conservative groups lack standing to sue because they failed to prove they were harmed by the changes.
Here at 5:08, an obedience school like no other is pairing rescue dogs with teens who have a little bit of something in common with them. Children's Village is a nonprofit organization that works with at-risk youth in New York. The teens housed on their residential campus are in the foster care system. One of the programs is Work Appreciation for Youth. There's a greenhouse, a barbershop, and of course a kennel. The dogs in the program become better socialized and they learn some basic obedience, making them more attractive to potential adoptive families. The teens, meanwhile, are learning important life skills.
A good feeling because I like to see a dog have a home and they're safe.
What do you feel like you've learned from this job, and what's the best part about the program?
That to be patient and responsibility is a big thing.
The teens are paid hourly wages as trainers, but the facility says the program offers much more than just a paycheck. The teens develop self-esteem and get access, get to see success, rather. That's something that can be part of their lives.
Oh, I love that. That is a great idea. The Pacers are on a hot streak this morning. The team snagged its 4th consecutive win last night against the Utah Jazz at Bankers Life. Indiana dominated most of the night, taking a 9-point lead into the final quarter. They finished with a final score of 121-102. The Pacers are now 11-6 on the season. The game was also the first time fans got to see the new City Edition uniforms on the court. The jerseys pay tribute to the city's legacy of racing. The mostly white uniforms feature a vertical checkered racing stripe down the left side and Grand Prix inspired numbers. Here at 5:09, Alyssa Donovan's going to take a check at the weather.
And we are starting a little cool this morning. Those temperatures in the mid-30s. That's really where we should be this time of year, though, with those overnight lows. So starting cool, and we are going to stay quiet quiet throughout the day. Those winds have subsided. We saw those winds up to 60 miles per hour yesterday afternoon. Things are going to be much calmer and quieter today. We're starting with some cloud coverage, and that cloud coverage is going to stick with us throughout the afternoon. We are socked in by high pressure coming in from the northwest. That's bringing a little bit of a chill to the air, but those aren't strong winds. They're just helping usher in that cool air from the north. And what's happening next is we're going to stay quiet today and quiet tomorrow, and then just off to our west, we do have this system approaching that's going to impact us over the weekend. But today and tomorrow, things are quiet and calm for your Thanksgiving weekend. Cloudy skies to start today. We're going to see those light winds, temperatures below average with a high right around 41 degrees.
Alyssa, thank you. Thousands of South Texas residents won't be celebrating Thanksgiving at home after a massive explosion rocked a chemical plant. Straight ahead, why some say they aren't taking any chances, even after officials gave the all clear.
It turns out you may not have to grow up after all. Coming up, a look at the brand new Toys R Us store in New Jersey and where you'll soon see a second location. That's coming up.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Time right now is 5:13 on your Thanksgiving. Here is a live look at your drive right now in the downtown area. I-70 at the North Split. Traffic here is still pretty quiet at this early hour. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your interstates and tell you more about that crash on I-70 on the west side. That's coming up right here in Good Morning Indiana.
Explosions at a chemical plant now causing concern in a small South Texas city. The first blast erupted early Wednesday, and others came in the hours following. Damage was reported in homes surrounding the facility, and thousands have been forced to evacuate. John Lawrence has the latest.
An inferno launching a tower skyward, causing thick black clouds of smoke to blanket parts of Port Neches, Texas. This after Wednesday's early morning explosion at the TPC Group chemical plant.
We were sound asleep, and this tremendous boom hit, and the whole house shook.
Tens of thousands of people have evacuated their homes, according to the New York Times. That includes Laurel Amy and her family, who packed the essentials to stay with friends in nearby Beaumont.
Thanksgiving dinner, food, clothes for maybe a couple days, our alcohol.
Officials don't know when the fires from the plant will be extinguished.
I just worry about what we're breathing in.
But they say there's no danger to the public thus far.
Air quality monitoring has been going on around the clock and will continue to go on around the clock throughout this incident until it's finally wrapped up.
The TPC Group says they don't know what caused the blasts yet.
Everyone always wants to know immediately, how did it occur? At this time, that's not our focus. Our focus is on responding to the event. We will be creating an investigation team, and we will be seeking the root causes of the event.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The explosions come just a week after the Trump administration rolled back safety rules meant to protect workers and people who live near chemical plants. Reports show the facility has been considered a high priority violator by the EPA for more than 2 years and has been out of compliance with federal clean air laws since the agency's last inspection in August of 2017.
Michael Flynn's sentencing date has been delayed again. President Trump's first national security advisor pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about conversations with Russia's ambassador. Flynn's lawyers and federal prosecutors asked for the delay. They say a report from the DOJ's Inspector General on the FBI's investigation of the Trump campaign, due out on December 9th, could contain information relevant to Flynn's sentencing. A new sentencing date has not yet been set.
Former President Jimmy Carter is back home after spending 2 weeks in the hospital. He was released Wednesday morning after having a procedure to relieve pressure on his brain. That pressure was the result of bleeding from several recent falls. The first happened in the spring and required hip replacement surgery. A second fall happened in October, resulting in 14 stitches on his face. The 95-year-old fractured his pelvis in yet another fall the same month. Carter plans to celebrate Thanksgiving with his family in his rural hometown of Plains, Georgia.
In France, 1,500 tractors rolled into the heart of Paris on Wednesday. Farmers there are protesting government policies that the French farming unions say hurt French agriculture. Those policies include restrictions on pesticides and international trade agreements. Farmers say the policies make it hard for domestic agriculture to compete against imports. France is the largest agricultural producer in the European Union. happen.
Anything can happen on live TV. A Greek reporter proved that to be true while reporting on recent flood damage when an uninvited guest tried to hog the spotlight. The segment starts off pretty normal with the anchors in studio introducing the reporter, most likely expecting a somber report. But things immediately take an interesting turn when a curious pig wanders into the shot. The reporter does his best to stay professional, but ends up running in circles with the persistent pig following his every move, nipping at his legs. His colleagues in the studio couldn't keep it together as they watched the scene unfold.
Oh, camera hog.
All right, Alyssa, next time we send you out into the field, you got to be careful for those pigs out there.
Yeah. You never really know, right?
Oh my goodness, it's so funny.
That's a big pig at that.
I'd be kind of scared.
Yeah.
That's too funny. All right, well, let's get a check of our forecast back here at home, Alyssa.
So today's going to be a lot calmer, but I wanted to show you just how strong those winds were yesterday. Crawfordsville topped out at 62 miles per hour. Muncie at 62 as well. Here in Indianapolis, we saw those gusts right around 60 miles per hour at its peak, and Kokomo was at 54 miles per hour. The good news is today is going to be a much calmer day. You can see how cloudy our skies are starting right now, and we're going to continue to see that cloud coverage throughout the day. Temperatures starting a little cool for this time of year in the 30s, and then we are seeing some lighter winds, but you'll notice they've shifted. Those winds we saw yesterday were out of the southwest. Now we're seeing those winds out of the northwest, and they're going to calm down throughout the day. But what that means is we are going to see that cooler, drier air coming in from the north. We're going to continue to see that cloud coverage, which you can see is well over the area right now. That's just lingering from that system that moved through yesterday and into yesterday afternoon. What's going to happen is we're going to see those temperatures only climbing into the upper 30s and low 40s with those clouds sticking around throughout the day. We could see maybe a peak of sunshine in the afternoon, but for the most part, expect a gloomy Thanksgiving on tap. What's going on next is we had that system that moved through yesterday. High pressure is building in behind that. What that's going to do is just keep us cool and calm today, but it's also going to help keep those clouds in place. Tomorrow, we'll see maybe a little bit more sunshine by midday before we start to see some changes. Now, just off to our west, we have this system that's developing. That's going to start tracking into Indiana as we head into Friday afternoon and into the overnight hours. That will likely impact us for our Saturday morning and then into early Saturday afternoon before that quickly tapers off. We are going to see that potential of rain showers on Saturday and windy conditions along with that, but you'll see those temperatures are climbing up as well. So we're going to be into the 50s again this weekend briefly before a cold front starts to track through late Sunday. We're going to see a dry Sunday, and then by late Sunday night, that's when we're going to see the potential of a rain-snow mix coming in, and then much cooler temperatures to start our next week. We'll continue to see that mix of rain and snow possible for our Monday morning as well. So we are going to see some of that wet weather this weekend. Saturday is going to be our wettest day and our windiest day. So enjoy today and tomorrow because those are going to be calm days with our forecast. We're starting cloudy and cool this morning with those temperatures in the 30s, only climbing into the upper 30s by midday and low 40s this afternoon. So we are a little bit below average for this time of year, but your Thanksgiving is looking calm and dry. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll see some peaks of sunshine once again. 44 for the high, so we're starting to climb with those temperatures. And then Saturday, we are seeing that potential of rain. That rain-snow mix comes in late Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now from our INDOT traffic camera over on the west side. You can see the crews working there still to clear the interstate. A few lanes blocked off traveling westbound on I-70. This is a look near Minnesota Street. So what happened here is we had that crash involving a semi. The trailer opened up. There were flannel shirts on the interstate, maybe a little bit of a spill there. So crews been working to clear that crash scene and get everything back open for the morning commute. You can see traffic is still moving along just fine. It should be a quieter day. So the fact that we only have one right lane open shouldn't slow you down too much at this hour. Let's take a look right now to the northeast. I-465 and I-69. Traffic here very quiet this morning. No issues.
If you shopped at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or Home Goods recently, you'll want to listen up. 19 products that were previously recalled were sold in stores after the recalls were announced, including items linked to infant deaths. That's according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. In a report released Tuesday, the agency said the products were recalled between 2014 and 2019. Some of the affected items include baby sleepers, chairs, and knives. We have a full list of the recalled items on the IndyChannel.com, and if you have any of the products, stop using them immediately and contact the manufacturer for a refund.
An all-new, all-natural dog biscuit company based in Louisville is changing the lives of humans as well as pets. Wiggle Wow launched in August, and it provides jobs for adults with disabilities. 4 adults have been hired so far, along with a parent to work with them. The company's founder hopes that 10 years from now, Wiggle Wow will be the largest employer in America for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
If you're hoping to bring back feelings of childhood nostalgia this holiday season, you are in luck. Toys R Us is back with an all-new brick-and-mortar store. The store opened in New Jersey yesterday. An official grand opening is scheduled for Saturday. A second location will be opening in Houston, Texas in the coming weeks. According to the company, the new smaller format store provides an interactive experience at every turn. The iconic toy chain filed for bankruptcy last year. True Kids, which operates Toys R Us, says it plans to launch 10 more stores next year.
A wrong number text brought 2 strangers together 3 years ago. Well, now they're preparing to spend their 4th Thanksgiving together. We're going to have their heartwarming story coming up.
A reaction can be to go hide in a closet, to pull yourself out of the world.
The holidays can be tough after a loss or a terminal diagnosis, but coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, we have a story that we hope will bring you some peace this holiday season. We'll be right back.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
2 families will share their 4th Thanksgiving together after an accidental text message connected them in 2016. The tradition started when Wanda Dench thought she was texting her grandson to invite him to Thanksgiving. She actually texted Jamal Hinton. Hinton, who thought his grandma got a new phone number, responded by asking for a photo. The picture was obviously not Jamal's grandma. Then he sent back a selfie to let Wanda know he was not her grandson, but asked if he could stop by for dinner anyways. She replied, "Of course you can. That's what grandmas do. Feed everyone." And the tradition has kept up ever since. Today, the 2 will have dinner with the Hinton's family and friends. I always love that story.
I love following along with their story. Yeah, that's so fun. I love how they've kept it up every year, too.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty great. It's the true meaning of the holiday season.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, Alyssa, we have some calm after yesterday's wild weather.
Yes, so today's going to be a nice quiet day just in time for Thanksgiving. If you still have to get to your destination, you are in good shape. It's going to be dry and quiet today. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the low 40s, so a little cool today and staying pretty cool tomorrow. And then we do have the potential of rain coming in this weekend.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, hundreds of people are still without power after strong winds hit central Indiana. The damage left behind by the storm.
And one of the city's biggest holiday traditions continues this morning right here in Indianapolis. How volunteers are preparing to serve more than 20,000 Thanksgiving meals to people in need. But first on this Thanksgiving, we got to talk about the weather.
Yeah, thankfully things are a lot calmer outside than they were yesterday at this time. And our Alyssa Donovan is standing by to let us know what we can expect for the rest of our Thanksgiving.
So it is going to be a calm day. Those winds have subsided quite a bit. We are starting with this blanket of clouds that you can see on our sky cam right now. That's going to stick with us throughout the day, but the good news is a much calmer day when it comes to those winds. We are seeing a little bit of a breeze right now out of the north, about 16 miles per hour in Indianapolis, but those are going to calm down throughout the day. What that is doing is helping usher in some of that cooler, drier air from the north, but it's not going to move those clouds. Those are going to stick around. Temperatures today starting in the 30s this morning, so if you are still heading out the door to get to your destination for Thanksgiving today, you are going to want a warmer jacket to start this morning. So we're starting with that cloud coverage, and that's going to stick with us throughout the day. We could see maybe a peak of sunshine by mid-morning and into the early afternoon, but then we are going to continue to see those clouds just blanket us in as we head into the afternoon and overnight hours. The good news with that means we won't start too cool tomorrow morning. So what's going to happen next is we have this system just off to our west. That's going to start approaching us by late Friday. That will bring us the potential of rain showers over the weekend. So we are going to see a nice day today and a nice day tomorrow, but then those changes come in just in time for the weekend. Today, our high will be right around 41 degrees.
Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look at one issue we're monitoring on your roads right now. A cleanup from an earlier crash here in the westbound lanes of I-70. This is near Minnesota Street. You can see that crews do have those left lanes blocked off right now as they're working to clear this crash that involved a semi. Traffic squeezing over into the right lane. It is starting to pick up a little bit more at this hour, but it's still moving past this crash cleanup just fine. I want to take you back to when our crew was out there at the scene, though, and give you an up-close look at the damage left behind. We can tell you 2 people are in the hospital this morning following this serious crash on Interstate 70 over on the west side. This all happened just before 2 o'clock this morning near the area of Sam Jones Expressway. The semi driver told police that the driver of a pickup truck was driving erratically, lost control, and so he could not avoid crashing into them. The semi trailer then was ripped open, spilling flannel shirts here all across the highway. Police say the man they believe to be the driver of the pickup ran away from the scene. He was found a short distance away, and his injuries are not known this morning. We can tell you that semi-truck driver was not injured, but you've seen this is going to take a little bit longer to clear, so let's take a look at our map and I'll show you exactly where this is at. Again, not causing too many delays there this morning, so that is good news, but as traffic starts to pick up a little later this morning, we're going to keep a close eye on that spot and let you know if it gets backed up in that one right lane. Let's take a turn across town right now, give you a live look at I-465 at I-69 Binford Boulevard, where traffic is moving along up to speed.
More than 1,000 people are still without power this morning after strong winds knocked down trees and power lines in the area. 1,500 Indiana Power and Light customers are experiencing outages. Winds reach up to 60 miles an hour around Indianapolis yesterday afternoon, causing damage to the downed power lines. One tree landed right on a home in Fortville, destroying the roof and sending insulation everywhere. A gas station on Indy's south side also collapsed because of the windstorm. Thankfully, there have not been any reports of injuries. The wind also caused a lot of problems at the Speedway. The holiday attraction Lights at the Brickyard was supposed to start last night at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but was postponed due to weather conditions. The light display will open tonight instead. The gates open at 6 p.m.
New from overnight, fire investigators in Noblesville are trying to figure out what started an overnight house fire. This fire started just after midnight on Chestnut Street. Authorities say smoke and flames were coming through the second story of the home when they arrived. Firefighters say an unconscious woman was pulled from this house. She was taken to the hospital in serious condition. 2 of her cats died in that fire. Also new this morning on Good Morning Indiana, detectives are trying to figure out what happened after a person was found dead in a home. This happened near Brownsburg. Police out in Hendricks County were initially called out to this home on North County Road 1000 East around 7 o'clock last night for burglary in progress. When they arrived, they found the person dead at the scene. Officers on the scene say there does not appear to be an additional threat to the public at this time. The investigation is ongoing.
A quick crime is costing a central Indiana family thousands of dollars in repairs. Nicole Wilson's husband went to the Plainfield Walmart on Saturday afternoon. After being in the store for about 20 minutes, he returned to find the tailgate of his pickup truck missing. While the couple was surprised, Campfield's auto repair shop says this type of theft actually happens fairly often. There are things you can do to help prevent it.
You can wrap a hose clamp around it, tighten it down. Hose clamp costs you, a quarter or something. That would be a deterrent, kind of keep them, because most guys aren't going to be like, oh, let me get my screwdriver out. They want to be quick, in, out, and be gone with it.
Keeping it locked, everything has to be locked down now, including the tailgate, and just really being more aware of the surroundings.
Plainfield police say they are reviewing security footage from the Walmart parking lot, but they do not have any suspect information.
This Thanksgiving, people living at the I-70 mobile home park are wondering if they'll have a home to eat in come Christmas time. Of course, we're staying on top of this issue that you first saw here on RTV6. After getting notices to leave the I-70 mobile home park, residents there reached out to us concerned about the lack of notices and resources. Tanya Clark is still searching for a home since this issue began back in August. She says that she hasn't found a place she can afford with Social Security. The Attorney General's office tells RTV6 residents will either receive the title to their mobile home so they can move them, or they'll get the money back to help find a new home. But in Clark's case, the $600 she paid for her trailer won't get her very far, as the trailer is not in any shape to be moved.
Right now, I'm looking at putting my stuff in storage and buying a truck cap for the back of this truck.
You thinking you might have to live in your truck?
Yeah. When you can't afford to live anywhere, what else are you supposed to do?
The Attorney General's office says they are evaluating each resident's situation on a case-by-case basis to determine if they'll get their title or a refund. They urge any resident with a question to call their office at the number you see on your screen. That number is 317-232-6330.
A new program is helping artists support themselves while also helping address the issues of abandoned homes in Indianapolis. Erin Harper Vernon's work as an artist takes her around the world. She recently finished her residency in Sweden. Now she's back home in Indianapolis thanks to an artist and public residency program. Artists who qualify only pay a portion of the cost of their home. In exchange, they commit to working for 6 years in support of the community. For more information, and if you're interested in applying, you can click on this story in the RTV6 app for a link. The Moselle Sanders Foundation has been feeding families in need on Thanksgiving Day for 48 years.
And this morning they are up early and they are preparing more than 22,000 meals. And that's where we find our own Kelsey Anderson. She's live this morning in the kitchen there at Butler University. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so 22,000 meals. That takes a lot of food and a lot of people behind the scenes to get ready. And I'm here this morning with some of the volunteers who've been here since 3 a.m., right? Yes. Okay, so this group right here has been 9 years, family tradition. Obviously, these two haven't been here for 9 years, but so tell me a little bit about what it's like to have the whole family here together.
Well, it feels good to get us all together. We got up early this morning, about 2 o'clock, to get here at 3, start cooking the turkey. Mason and I, we've been doing this for 9 years now, and as the younger ones get older, we bring them on and let them know what it's like to help other people out.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's been 9 years for you. What's it been like for you to see it grow and bring your little brothers with you?
I mean, it's just great. Yeah, allow them to. Dang it.
You're fine.
Anyway,
it feels good to be here in the morning.
It does feel good, knowing that you'll put smiles on people's faces, and that just makes you feel good inside.
Yeah, definitely. And what's it like for you two getting up early and coming out here to help?
I'm very sleepy, and I'm going to Virginia.
You're going to Virginia? Awesome. All right, so again, 9 years for this family. They're going to come back. They already know next year for their 10th year. They like to come to this early hour, get up and get going, things like that. So again, but they are still looking here. So 22,000 meals, but they do still need some funding. They said they're a little bit short this year on cash. And so if you want to make a donation, you can just visit this story on the RTV6 News app. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, and Kelsey, those boys are so sweet. What a great lesson for Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. And it's a sure sign, of course, that Thanksgiving is here and the holiday season has officially arrived in central Indiana. Check out who appeared in downtown Indianapolis overnight. The Cherub. He's now set out outside of the old Carson's building. So the legend has it that the Cherub keeps watch over the holiday shoppers until Santa can take over on Christmas Eve.
And if you plan on getting those early Black Friday sales after your Thanksgiving feast, Simon Mall properties will have special hours. Castleton Square, Greenwood Park Malls, and Hamilton Sound Center will be open from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. tonight. Circle Center Mall and the Fashion Mall at Keystone will be closed. All will be open on Black Friday. But if you're still needing to travel to your Thanksgiving destination today, Alyssa is our gal with what we've got going on weather-wise.
So the good news is it's going to be nice and quiet here in Indianapolis. Mostly cloudy skies. If you're heading out the door in the next few hours here, you are in good shape. Really, throughout the day, we're just going to see cloud coverage and light winds out of the northwest. Highs only reaching the 40s this afternoon, so it's going to be a cool day. And depending on your destination, you are in good shape. Louisville, we are in the 40s as well. Detroit in the 40s. Columbus and Chicago, and we are seeing calm conditions at all of those locations. Just a little bit of a gloomy Thanksgiving throughout the Midwest with those skies staying cloudy throughout the day. And that's all from that system that moved through yesterday. That's continuing to push off to the east, but as high pressure builds in, that's really just locking in that cloud coverage and keeping our temperatures a little bit cool with that northwesterly wind. Tomorrow, staying dry and calm, but you can see we do have a front that's going to start approaching throughout the day. That's really not going to impact us though until the weekend. As early as we'd see those showers would be very late Friday night. And then looking ahead to the weekend, I know you probably have some plans with your family. We are going to see those temperatures climbing into the 50s on Saturday. It is going to be wet and windy out there with periods of heavy rainfall throughout the day. And then on Sunday, we're going to start out dry, and then we have the potential of a rain-snow mix late in the day.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Well, severe weather across the country could cause problems for millions of Americans traveling today. Coming up, what you need to know before you head out this Thanksgiving.
And after protests in Hong Kong, President Trump is taking action against the Chinese. Still add the new sanctions adding tension in the ongoing trade war.
Here's a live look right now at traffic as you're heading out the door. They are adjusting the camera here at I-70 Minnesota Street, but off in a distance, you see that crash cleanup ongoing there in the westbound lanes. Right lane remains open, but traffic may slow as it picks up this morning. This is an area we'll keep an eye on, and of course, we'll keep you updated. We'll be right back.
About to fix it.
Two major storms hitting coast to coast during one of the busiest travel times of the year. From snow to rain, the conditions could cause problems for your Thanksgiving plans. Snow pounded parts of the Midwest, dumping 6 inches of snow in Wisconsin and Minneapolis. Interstates were shut down in California after heavy rain and snow, and wind has been wreaking havoc across the country, causing outages across 8 states. Now, thankfully, Alyssa, though, today things are going to be much calmer here in central Indiana.
That's right. We've seen those winds calm way down. Yesterday, we saw those gusts up to 60 miles per hour and sustained winds right around 45 miles per hour here in Indianapolis. Some of those stronger winds even to the north of us, but you can see right now those winds are out of the north-northwest, about 16 miles per hour, so a little breezy to start. That north-northwesterly wind is helping usher in that cool, dry air, and so we are going to see a little cool start today with those temperatures in the 30s across the area, but we are going to see those winds calm down, and we're not going to see nearly the gusts that we saw yesterday. Looking ahead to the rest of the weekend, we are going to start with calm and dry conditions today and Friday, and then we are going to see the potential of rain moving in on Saturday. That's the first system, and then we have another low pressure system that's going to build, and that's going to bring us the potential of a rain-snow mix on Sunday. Likely that will be late in the day, overnight, and into Monday, but we are going to see some changes with that much cooler air to start our Monday morning as well. Right now, though, the main thing we're seeing is just a little bit of cloud coverage. That's just left over from that system that brought us those gusty winds and a few rain showers to start yesterday. What's going on is that system has moved off to the northeast. That's impacting those areas now, and we are going to turn to the west where we have a system building that will impact us late Friday and into Saturday. So quiet with high pressure in control today and tomorrow with cloudy skies. We'll start to see those temperatures climb a little bit more tomorrow into the mid-40s, and then we are going to start to see this system develop. That's going to bring us the potential of showers on Saturday with the first wave, and then the potential for that rain-snow mix on Sunday late in the day. So Saturday, temperatures will be in the low 50s with that potential of some heavy downpours at times throughout the day. And then Sunday, we are going to see a calmer start. So we're going to see a little bit of a break between systems before we start to see that potential of that late in the day rain-snow mix. Today, for your Thanksgiving, we are starting cloudy and cool and dry. We're going to see light winds throughout the day. Temperatures will be below average with highs only in the low 40s. So it's going to be a cool day. You are going to want a warm coat as you head out the door to any of your Thanksgiving festivities. Friday, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 40s for you Black Friday shoppers. And then we are going to see that potential of wet and windy conditions on Saturday with a rain-snow mix late on Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on your Thanksgiving travels, and here is a look at our maps. Still monitoring a cleanup from a semi-crash that happened overnight in the westbound lanes of I-70 near Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic still getting by just fine, even though only one right lane is open. Let's take a look at it right now as they're working to clear the interstate from the debris and everything that's spilled on the interstate. You can see traffic is getting by okay in that right lane. Other direction, eastbound traffic is moving along up to speed as well.
Protesters in Hong Kong will hold a celebratory pro-U.S. rally today after President Trump enacted tough sanctions against China for its crackdown in the city. He signed the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act, which was passed by Congress last week. It requires that the State Department annually review whether the city is sufficiently self-governed in order to maintain its special trading status with the U.S. If not, then the U.S. could withdraw from deals, which would be a massive blow to Hong Kong's economy. President Trump says he signed it in hopes that Chinese and Hong Kong leaders could settle their differences and reach peace. Officials with the Chinese government are calling the move an interference in the country's internal affairs and a violation of international law.
At 5:50, a woman who contracted hepatitis A after eating blackberries she bought at Fresh Thyme is now suing the grocery store company. The Nebraska woman says that she was hospitalized for a week and continues to experience fatigue and other symptoms. Earlier this month, health officials warned consumers in multiple states, including here in Indiana, about this outbreak. They say blackberries bought from Fresh Thyme in September were the cause. Fresh Thyme has not yet responded to that lawsuit.
Police in California had to corral more than 70 cows on a highway after a crash involving multiple semis. Officials say icy roads were to blame for the incident. At least one of the jackknife semis was carrying cattle, causing the cows to be let loose on the roadway. It took crews 5 hours to track down all 77 animals. The good news, none of those cows were hurt.
Wow. Well, this morning it's still up in the air, literally, if the balloons will be flown in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. All 16 giant character balloons were still inflated last night, all in preparation for this big event. Officials there are monitoring the wind speeds, and they're going to make the call later this morning. Organizers say the inflated balloons can be quickly lowered if the winds do pick up during the parade. Oh, I'm hoping that they can run, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. A Denny's waitress was given a big surprise by one of her customers after the break. Why a couple decided to help her out, no strings attached. It's 5:52. Good morning, Indiana. We'll be right back.
Down, 0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
A Texas couple gave a waitress an early Christmas surprise this week. They were having breakfast at the Denny's where Adriana Edwards works when they learned she walks 7 miles to work every day. Round trip, that takes Edwards about 5 hours. So the couple, who wished to remain anonymous, decided to help. They bought her a 2011 Nissan Sentra and surprised her with it at work. The couple gave it to her, no strings attached, and just asked that she pay it forward if she gets the chance. Edwards says the car will allow her to go to college sooner than she had planned. What a great story, and hopefully that inspires other people to give here on this Thanksgiving Thursday. And our Alyssa Donovan is giving us a much better forecast than we had yesterday.
Yeah, so the good news is a much calmer day on tap. We are going to see light winds, nothing compared to what we saw yesterday. The only bad news with this forecast is that it is going to be a bit of a cloudy and gloomy day. We could see maybe a peak of sunshine here and there, but for the most part, we are socked in with this cloud coverage and temperatures not climbing too much. So we have those light winds, but they are out of the northwest, the ones that we do have, which means we are going to see those temperatures a little low today, just right around 41 degrees for our high. Looking ahead to the weekend, we do have the potential of wet and windy weather on Saturday and then a late rain snow mix on Sunday.
It's an incredible way to live.
To inspire you this Thanksgiving, finding peace in the most difficult seasons. This story and more coming up next right here on Good Morning Indiana.